guys, welcome back to our channel. So we have an exciting video today. We got the Pure and Rawbeautykristi collection. So anybody that was trying to get this, you know that launch day was just a shit show. So Kristi, just so you know, I don't really care that much. Like it sucked, but and I would have waited for the restock, but Kristi, don't feel too bad. There's nothing you can do. But anyway, our friend Kayla Marie will link her. But she actually got in before we did, and she had our address from something she had sent us previously, and she just bought the palette and sent it to us, and I paid her back, but she did not ask for me to pay her back. So I thought that was super sweet, and it was a good thing she did that anyway, because it told me I was supposed to get the palette around midnight, so I was waiting till midnight, and I hadn't checked my phone, and I lost my place in line. I got in at like 11 something, and so I was like, it's a good thing she grabbed it, otherwise I wouldn't have gotten it. But yeah, this is a review, 2 looks 1 palette, that kind of vibe. This is not the look I created. Yeah. I filmed this yesterday. Because our schedules can be so weird, and because parenthood and work and things, it's really hard sometimes for us both to be able to film and do an intro and outro together. So this is a common occurrence on this channel if you're new here, so just bear with us here. This is something else. This was I haven't been this artistic in a minute. Like I was like, this morning when I was able to do this, I was like, wow, I'm incredible. But anyway, if you're interested to see the 2 looks we do, then just keep on watching. Alrighty, as you can see, I have one eye done. I wanted to go for something neutral, but more on the cool tone side, since this, especially the neutral side of the palette, is very warm tone heavy. I am personally a cool tone girl, so I wanted to stick to kind of this row here, and then I added the matte white, but I think it looks kind of cute, kind of bridal. I also went into a matte black. I know she said she didn't add one because the overall consensus was matte white is better. I wish it had both, because I love a matte black, but also I have a billion, so it's okay that it doesn't have a matte black. But yeah, so I'm gonna start off here with the shade Moo Point, this little pinky moment here, and I'm gonna take that on a big old fluffy brush, and I'm just gonna focus this on my outer corner and blend it really high up, like towards the brow bone kind of area. And I'm gonna keep this pretty circular in shape as well. Not gonna go too wingy with it this time, really switching it up a bit. And these shadows do have a bit of kick up. I haven't had any problems with them thus far, but I've only done this look and I didn't have any problems. So that's a thumbs up for me. I don't mind a powdery shadow. I'm gonna take a smaller fluffy brush and go into the shade You're Not My Real Dad, which I say all the time. Thank you, Crispy. I'm pretty sure she just calls herself Rawbeautykristi, but Rachel and I call her Crispy. I don't know why. Maybe she said it at one point. She probably did. Anyway, so I'm going to go into that one, and I'm going to do basically the same thing. I'm just going to focus it a little lower. And I really want to focus all that depth out there. It feels a little, this look feels kind of bridal to me, which I don't know. I'm not a bride or a bride-to-be, but like, I want to be at some point. So I always imagined my wedding being like exactly like the one on Twilight. Like to a T, I want her dress. It's perfect. So I'm going to do that when I get married. Probably not, but you know. I'm gonna go back into that first fluffy brush with that pinky shade on it. I'm not adding any additional product. I'm just kind of blending out the edges of that further. Though these seem to blend in together very well, so I don't have any problems. And then just to deepen that up a little more and kind of focus it, I'm going to take a smaller fluffy brush. And notice I'm not mentioning any of them because they're all from Morphe and I am no longer supporting Morphe. So, sorry. But yeah, so I'm going to focus this a little farther down and bring it in a bit. And I will go in with matte black later, like I said, just to really deepen things up. So then this is where we do a little mixing game. I'm gonna take My Whole Heart, which is the matte cream shade here, and I'm going to apply that all over the lid, and then I'm gonna go over top of that with Moo Point. I don't know what that, I didn't watch the full reveal video because I am a fake fan. Not really, I love Crispy, I was just at work, so I didn't watch the full reveal video. And also, no, you know what, we'll probably mention that in the intro. Our friend Kayla ended up picking this up for us when she was in line because she got in line before us. without us knowing. She was just like, hey, I picked it up for you. And I was like, you sweet angel. She is literally the love of my life. Anyway, going in with Moo Point. And I find that these mattes are really, really, really pigmented. Like really pretty, really pigmented. I really like the effect they have on the eyes. They're not similar, but they kind of remind me of Viseart shadows in a way. Just in the way that they perform like well all over the lid. At least for me. Rachel might have a different opinion. We'll have to see. I know she tried a few looks today and she had some problems. Not with the shadows, but just with a color combination she liked. So we'll have to see her thoughts, but I'm just gonna blend out the edges of this a little bit. I am gonna take the matte white. This is on the colorful side. Right here. This white is really good actually. I wasn't sure how, whoa. I wasn't sure how I would feel about it because matte whites, really good ones, are hard to come by, I feel. The only one I really love is from the ABH Norvina Volume 1 palette, which we depotted and we kept basically only the matte white and then like a coral shade. A, because we don't support ABH, and B, because it's the only matte white that matters. So this one though I do like. It does require a little bit of building, but it is a better matte white in my opinion. I think it's really nice. So I'm gonna take that. I am going to dust over that inner portion with that same brush that we had Moo Point on, just so the matte white isn't too stark in that area, so it looks a little more diffused and blended and such. So I'm going to take my little custom palette here, and I'm going to take this matte black. This one is from ABH. Again, I don't support ABH, but I think I'm going to pan this matte black. I don't know if it's going to be an official project or unofficial. It has decent pan in it already because me and my matte blacks, you know, gotta use them all the time. But first I'm gonna go in with this little tiny brush. This is from Luxie. This is the mini flat angled brush, which is really great for smudging black or really anything towards the lash line. It's a great smudger brush. So I'm gonna kind of smudge that because I have so much powder laid down from the first bunch of shadows. It probably won't stick that well. If so, I will dampen it and use a kind of like a flat definer brush to pack it on. I tried to build that shade a lot more on this eye, so it might not be as hard to stick as it was. Thank you very much. See, I'm gonna smudge that just right out here because I love the effect this gives. I harp on about it in every video, but I love a really, really deep lash line, especially on the outer corner. I love the way that it opens my eyes. I just think it's stunning. Not to toot my own horn or anything. And I am gonna go in with like a flat definer brush and dampen that matte black, and then still really wiggle it along the lash line. You can also use an actual black liner. I just didn't feel like it. The one from Sigma is really great for smudging. We got that one in PR recently, and I actually really, really love it. So that's always nice. I'm gonna use that brush kind of to blend upward with that matte black. It's kind of hard to blend with these kind of brushes, but it's not impossible. And I am going to take it just a little farther in right here. Just so it really opens that eye, gives it like a good doe eye effect. I live, I breathe. Also, God, how cool it would I can't even speak. How cool it would be if Kristi saw this video. She'll probably be watching reviews is my guess. I don't know. Is she still like... Maybe pregnancy will really knock her out and she'll only want to watch YouTube videos. I know that's what it did to me, so so I can only imagine. I don't know. She said that her morning sickness subsided though, and every time somebody says that their morning sickness went away, I ignite in lividness. That's not a word, but you know what I mean, because I was sick my entire pregnancy, and I didn't know FMLA was a thing, like for work. And so I work at a call center, so I would get a phone call and I would feel like I had to throw up. So I'd be like, oh, one moment please. And I'd mute the call and I'd throw up in my trash can inside my cubicle, because I didn't know there were things that I could do to get time off work. So I was like, well, I'm not sick, so I can't like leave. God, what a sad existence I live. I am going to go back and re-intensify that matte white a bit on this eye. I feel like it's a little less punchy than the previous eyeball. So, yeah, that's it. Okay, I'm gonna do my brows, my base, my everything, and then I will come back for the lower lashes. Heads up, it's gonna be pretty simple, so don't get your panties in a bunch. Or I'll do a pop of color, so stay tuned. Okay, every time I get back on camera, I want to say thank you for holding, since I work at a call center, but that's not how it works here. Anyway, we're gonna do the lower lashes real quick. I was gonna do a pop of color, but I feel like the neutral really works. I did add a little bit of a white liner and then a dark brown right over here, just to do the do. I'm gonna start out with You're Not My Real Dad, which is the deep brown we used. And just smudge that on the lower lash line. And make sure it blends into what's going on the top here. Instead of anything fun right here, I'm just gonna add the matte white. I love how a matte white looks like right on that inner portion down here. I think it opens up the eyes so well. Like, I just think it's so gorgeous. So I'm gonna add that. Yeah. This is so random. This is not a chat to get ready with me, but I'm talking now, so whatever. Do you ever think it's really strange that people can think of you in like a sexual way? Like people think like you're hot? Strange. I have a daughter, and that's very strange to me. Just because, like, I don't understand. I'm not a sexy person. I'm like a non-sexy person. There's nothing, I don't have like a sexy bone in my body. Like I can't be like all sultry, like walk around like, hey, like I want to do it. I'm not that kind of girl. I can't do it. I feel so weird. Anyway, I'm gonna add some mascara real quick and then I will be back to kind of show you what it looks like all pulled together with that. All right, there we are. We're in focus now. So yeah, this is the final look all done with the Rawbeautykristi and Pure collection. Let me give you a little, my camera's all the way zoomed in. Let me give you a little close-up shot here. Yeah, and that is everything all completed for this little moment here. So hope you enjoyed it all. We didn't need this palette by any means, but I love Kristi. I love her so much. So we had to get it. I know that's that's probably why Pure collaborated with Kristi, because we all want to support her. But I love her, and I want to show her so much love with this collection because I just think she deserves the world. So yeah, this is the little neutral moment completed. Let me know what you think of everything. And I don't know if this is look number 1 or 2, but there will be another look either before or after this, and we'll be back to the outro, so I don't know what to tell you. Alright, so I'm going to play around with the colorful side of the palette. I played around with it a few times last night and couldn't come up with anything I loved, and I think part of it's because it's a pressed pigment palette, and those are kind of hard to work with in my opinion. Kind of like the James Charles Morphe palette. I find them really, really difficult to work with. And I'm also not a matte person. I use a lot of shimmers. You guys know through watching our videos, if you're a subscriber here, that we use a ton of shimmer. So it's kind of a little bit hard for me to come up with like an all matte look. I know it's got shimmers in here, but I wanted to play around with as many mattes as I could. But anyway, we did like green and yellow and orange and a whole bunch of fun stuff. So let's just get into that. So first I'm going to prime my eyelid. This is the ABH eye primer. I'm not a fan of it. We all know this, but we're panning it. So I'm just going to pop that on the lid. We're getting relatively close to done. Thank God. I'm just very much over this primer. Also, I re-bleached my brows so they're like invisible now. So there's that. My eyelids are primed. I'm first going to go in on this little Unicorn Cosmetics. It's like a tiny itty bitty blending brush. I'm going to go in with the shade I'm going to go in with the shade Garden State, which is the teal here. You guys know, I mean, look at my hair. I have blue hair. If there's a blue in a palette and I'm doing a first impressions, what color am I going to go for? Blue or green. My two favorite eyeshadow colors. Anyway, I'm going to kind of bring that to like the middle of my lid. Let me re-tap out the creases on this primer because it's a creasy little guy. But I'm just going to pop it right in this area. And I haven't noticed much fallout on my face with these, but I do notice it like right on the mobile lid. So if you blend above, I noticed the fallout going right onto my eye primer under here. Just so you're aware, I don't really find that to be a huge issue, but it's just something I noticed. Then I'm going to go in with the shade Dandelion, which is the yellow right up here. God. I shit you not. I have used the dark blue in this palette on every look that I've tried, which I've done like 6. I hit pan. Oh my god. Anyway, Dandelion, I'm gonna go right above the teal. This is a Morphe M506 brush. I'm just going to blend right above the teal. This is a pretty good yellow as far as yellows go. It's not like a, it is, I guess, a true yellow, so, but it is more of a dandelion color, not so much a, like, bright yellow, which is fine. So I'm actually just going to tap it over the green real quick, and then blend them together, just because I don't want the colors to get, like, too mushed. Then, yeah, blend it. And then back in with Garden State, and blending that as well. This is a BH Cosmetics brush. It's from the Marble collection. It's like the smallest little blending brush in there. The name is rubbed off, so I don't have it. I'm gonna go in with the shade Hurtful, which is the dark blue that has a expanding pan. Oh my god, that's hilarious to me. These are a relatively powdery formula, so it doesn't shock me too much, and I've been using a smaller brush to get in there. But I'm kind of thinking there's not a ton of product in this, because I've hit pan after, like, you know, maybe I'd say 5 uses. I think this would be my 5th look kind of playing around with it. But yeah, I'm going to kind of put that on my outer corner and start to wing it out a bit. I don't want something big winged out, I just want like a sharper edge. I used to like rounded, but I feel that this flatters my eyes a little bit more. So I'm just going to tap it here too. Alright, that's where we're kind of gonna, I don't want to say stop because we're still going, but that's where we're gonna stop as laying down the blue. And then I just wiped the brush off on my pants so it's not as filled with product. And I'm going to start to blend that out a little bit. And then going back in with the Morphe M506 and a mix of Garden State and Lumos, oops, the white in the palette, mixing those two together to create like a lighter teal and blending out the blue that way. And then I also added yellow on top on this eye because I just didn't like it without the yellow, so I'm gonna use that to put on top just to diffuse it and add a little bit of like dimension in there. Anyway, gonna hit Dandelion and go over that too, right above it. Right into my brow pretty much, but it'll show up when I put my brow gel in. And then I'm going to cut the crease, something I do not do very often. I didn't do it super like precisely. I just kind of threw a little bit of eye primer on and cut the crease because I want a base for that orange, otherwise the colors are going to muddy a little bit because it's greens and blues. This is like an unnamed flat Morphe brush, I think. I wish I would put the yellow on the lid. I think that would have looked better, but we already made our grave, so we're gonna keep going. I'm gonna go in with the shade Am I Orange, which is the orange in the palette, on like a BH Cosmetics brush. A lot of them are rubbed off, I'm so sorry. This is from the Rose Gold collection. It's the flat brush. I'm going to put this over the eye primer. And then back in with Hurtful, the dark blue, and blending those two colors together gently because they are not really colors that blend together very well. Okay, then I'm just going to clean up the edge. This is a baby wipe because we have a baby in the house, so we always have them on hand. So I'm just going to clean up the edge of this a little bit. Okay, so this is what we have so far. I'm gonna go ahead and do my base real quick, and then we'll be back to do the lower lash line. And I'll debate putting like a shimmer on top of this orange because she did say you can use this with toppers and stuff, so might as well mess around with it. But yeah, I will do my base and I'll be back. For my lower lash line, I'm just going to use the dark blue again, which is the shade Hurtful. I'm going to go in on the, goodness, this is a huge pan. I'm going to go in on the Unicorn Cosmetics brush that I used for the teal, just because it's a little bit more precise, and tap off the excess because, again, these have a lot of pigment. And go a little over halfway in. And then I'm going to go back in with the Dandelion shade, which is the yellow, and pack that right in here. And I have the Glossier Stretch Concealer on, so it makes kind of a good base for eyeshadows because it's so dewy, they just stick right on. Not for your eyelids because it creases, but for your lower lash line it's not bad. Then on one of those same kind of fluffy Morphe brushes, I'm going to take the white again and put it in my inner corner. I don't like this white on the lid, but I think it is a really good white in terms of pigment, so I think it's good for the inner corner. But for all over the lid, I think it's a little bit too dusty and it comes off very chalky. Like if you cut the crease and put the white all over the lid, I tried it yesterday and it just was not working for me. So just bear that in mind. Okay, and there's my giant white inner corner. I'd say in terms of whites, this is a little bit less good, but comparable to the ABH Norvina Volume 1 white. I hate that palette with a passion, but that white is the best white I've ever tried in my life. So I would say this is comparable to it. It's not as bright, but it is really, really good. Alright, and here is the completed look with the colorful side of the palette. And I quite like the way it turned out once I added some mascara and some eyebrow gel, so you can see at least a hint of brow. It all kind of came together. Anyway, I had fun doing this video. I really like the way this turned out. It was fun. I'm really actually loving the way my skin looks right now, so I might do some no foundation looks more often because she's pretty cute. She's pretty glossy. Anyway, we will continue on with the video. Thank you for watching this portion. Anyway, those were our two looks. Let us know your thoughts. Basically, my opinion on the palette is it's a good palette, but it has a learning curve. I feel that way with pressed pigments. I didn't use the neutrals, so I can't tell you if the neutrals... I didn't have any problems with the neutrals, but I haven't used the colors, so I don't know yet. So I do think they're good, but similarly, not nearly as bad because I didn't like this palette. The James Charles and Morphe palette is a pressed pigment formula. Some days it would work beautifully, and other days there was no possible way I could ever save the look because it's a pressed pigment. I don't know what it is about certain pressed pigments, but they just are... they're hard to work with, in my opinion. So that's kind of my thoughts. I didn't really play with the shimmers at all.
I didn't either. I didn't know that look.
Because there's mostly mattes in the palette, and that's what I wanted to play with. I don't think that there's that much product in here because I did hit pan on Hurtful and it's expanded quite a bit. So if you're somebody that like digs into colors, just keep that in mind. But I think there's still like enough product to use the palette. Yeah. I just keep that in mind if you're a fast pan hitter, because I hit pan today and we got it yesterday.
Well, to be fair, you did like 8 looks yesterday.
I know, I did a lot of looks. I think I did 5.
Yeah, this is probably one we're gonna have to update you on as far as our thoughts, since I haven't used the colorful side. She hasn't played with the neutrals. So we'll just have to kind of update you on this one. But either way, we are thrilled for Kristi, and we're happy to have bought it anyway because it's Kristi.
Yeah, we love Kristi.
What more can we say?
So, I mean, I like to buy things to support the creator, but I also just... it's exciting. Like, I mean, obviously she had plenty of people supporting her. Me buying the palette probably didn't do much, but I am just so happy for her, and anything with her name on it should belong in my collection because she is one of the only larger, because she's grown a lot, one of the only larger beauty influencers that I like truly trust with my whole soul. Although we have different taste in things, and I kind of thought that going into this because she loves Melt Cosmetics, their formula. I despise it. That is like one of the worst formulas in my opinion. So I kind of knew that our eyeshadow preference might be a bit different going into this, but
I went in with an open mind, regardless.
Yeah.
But anyway, we will try and feature this in some more videos. We'll also feature it in Instagram looks and Instagram tutorials, all over that. So all that will be linked down below because we post on there every single day, pretty much, other than Sundays normally. But yeah, any thoughts to add?
No, I will say I really liked the matte neutrals. I really liked them. I thought they worked really well, especially just patted all over the lid. Like, I didn't expect the pigment to be that there. that good. So that was a nice surprise. At least the neutral side I know I like. So
anyway, that's all from us today. Kristi, if you watch this, we love you so much, and we're very proud of you, regardless of if we loved or hated the palette.
And can my daughter come over for a play date when you have your kid?
Yes, that's an important, very pressing question, once it is safe to do so. Anyway, but thank you all for watching, and we hope to see you in the next video. Bye!